lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons.
Welcome, everybody, to Richmond Raceway, part of the HTL Cup Series presented by Team Conti. I'm Alan Bergen, live from the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio, just south of St. Louis. And to my right, all the way on the East Coast, my brother from another mother, Colin McDonough. Colin, and how are you doing tonight?
Alan, I'm doing great. I'm stoked to be here at Richmond. These Gen 7s are going to be a heck of a feat at Richmond. I think tire strategy is going to play a big role tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. As these guys have just about wrapped up qualifying, 35 cars strong tonight, and, John Hagen is essentially has set the fastest lap of the race. We're going to go over that and much, much more live here on Sim Racing Media. And Colin, as we bring up that all-important race information here. There it is. We're under the daylight, so not what you would typically see here as, we're under the daylight. And I love short track racing, but I love it under the lights here. But not to worry, we are under an 81-degree air ambient temperature, 60% relative humidity, under a clear blue sky, 10 mile an hour south-southwest wind, and that track temperature is scorching at 101 degrees. So it's hot.
It's going to be slick out there. Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be really challenging, man. Managing the tires is going to be crucial. I think a fuel run here, if my source is accurate, 90 to 100 laps is your fuel run. So for a 200 lap race on fuel, you really only need one stop. But those tires, I think anytime there's a caution, depending on how many sets these guys have, anytime there's a caution, I think you might want a fresh set.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that one. As right now here in warm-up time, Joshua Gaiman has gone fast time. But John Hagen has been the story of the night so far, as he is, the fastest in qualifying. We're going to go over those qualifying results as we get ready to go down grid side. We got about a minute, or, about a 5-minute warm-up, so not to worry. These guys are getting, these cars dialed in one last time, and, our very own Angel Santiago is in the field tonight, and right now, watching the practice times, we're not we're not down trackside just yet, but just he's filling in for a couple of his drivers. They're not in the field tonight. He is, and actually, we're going to take the time right now to and Colin, you know me as well as anybody. I like to pick on people.
Oh, of course. Hey, and I, for one, enjoy being picked on as a driver. So, as long as the driver has the right mindset about being picked on, it's a great combination.
Yeah. So we're actually going to go ahead and move and have a word, if you will, with Angel Santiago. Just real quick. Angel Santiago, is Alan and Colin up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy. You guys got me?
We got you. Hey, look, man. So right now, we know you're doing fill-in work for your team here tonight, and so what's the keys to success that you're looking for here on the racetrack as you get ready to get these 200 laps kicked off?
My case is to success, and I think probably 99% of the other drivers in this session right now have different ideas probably. I just hope to survive. Man, this thing is not easy to drive. That's the reason why I prefer broadcasting over driving, because oh man, these next gens, they are tough for sure. It's just a lot of play. It's depending on how you drive it. You can get it tight, you can get it loose. It's a really fun setup, honestly. I see what the drivers have been talking about when it talks, in regards to a setup that's fun. It's just Richmond. It's not easy.
Yeah, look, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, there it goes. I think as well, tire conservation is going to be key. I mean, I was experiencing the left front locks up so easily is a problem, no matter what you do. And so the left front, of course, is then wearing out. I mean, I was seeing it happen even, over 10 laps, having it almost 10% wore out. So it could be pretty interesting, especially with a tire run, or fuel run, being 80, almost 95 laps.
Yeah, and quickly, that brings me into my next question. Today we had an update here on the service, and one of the they did a NASCAR overhaul, as far as the damage model and stuff. What are you feeling out there as far as the update goes, and how is that affecting your driving as we work through this practice session?
Well, I haven't driven one of these things since the last time we did. I raced an HTL here. I think maybe race 2 or 3. I guess I like it. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience. It's been a little bit of a dry spell for me. I've been, not necessarily racing much at all. I think this is my first time on the surface in 13 days. So I feel like I kind of got into the wall quite hard there. Didn't feel like it hurt it too much. So I think we should see some pretty fun racing tonight. 2 and 4, of course. Those will be the fun spots for people smacking the wall. I'll try not to do it more than 4 or 5 times.
Perfect. Well, we're going to go ahead and get you back down your team while you guys get gridded up.
I appreciate it. You guys have fun.
Yep. And
Good luck, Angel.
That was Angel Santiago out of the Premier Racing Club. We're going to go over that starting lineup right now, as that's not what we want. John Hagan's going to start it off on the pole here, while Dustin Hall is going to roll off second. On the inside of row number 2 is going to be Josh Susie with Shad Swetsworth starting to his outside in 4th position. Caitlin Height, your Daytona 500 winner, she's going to start 5th, while Mark Kissenweather will start in that 6th position. Jeremy Brault will start 7th, while Hunter Peach will start 8th. 9th will be Austin Mongold, while Elias Flores will start 10th. Eli Sisak will start 11th, while Peculiar Missouri's own Seth Wansing will start 12th. Rolling back a little bit further deeper in the field, Tucker Sawyer will start 13th, while Patrick Oberstadt will start in that 14th position. Starting 15th will be Kyle Taub, while Matthew Boone will start in that 16th position. Starting 17th will be David Wright. Dean Clavitt will start 18th, while Dave Schmiel Jr. will start 19th, and Blake Henderson, the owner here at the HTL Cup Series, will start 20th 21st will be Richard Odie, while Steven Overstat will start 22nd. 23rd will be Zach Everson, while Gary Donaldson will start 24th. Starting 25th will be Callie Height, and Ross Baxter will start in the 26th position. Dale Markowski will start 27th, while Lily Sharp will start 28th. Carmen Sienna will start 29th. Josh Gaiman will start 30th. Robert Showalter will start 31st, while Alfred Denny will start 32nd. 33rd will go to Alfred Hidalgo, while Josh Arnold will start 34th. And our very own Angel Santiago will start 35th and round out tonight's 35 starting field tonight. And that's your grid here. Colin, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I am pumped.
I'm stoked for this. I'm amped up, Alan. I love some short track racing.
Well, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to pull the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn, settle in, because race fans, it's showtime! And lap number 1 is going to be all John Hagen all day long, as these guys are just, 200 laps. It's going to go by fairly quickly here, and it's going to be fun.
And Alan, for the most part, from what I've seen, I don't want to give them the commentator's curse, but pretty well behaved out there. I think a lot of these drivers realize this is a 200 lap race, and it seems like everybody's just trying to single file out a little bit. Oh,
we got
trouble at
we
the
got
exit
trouble.
of turn 2.
And who's up? Elias Flores. Let's see what happened there. Here we go. And a little bit loose there on the steering wheel.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Angel was talking about. Exit of 2 and exit of 4. It's going to be the problem areas tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go, back to the live picture here. It wanted to do what it wanted to do. Let's take a look. Let's take a second look at Elias there. There we go. And I mean, a little bit of cold tire. And that's net code all day long.
I think that was net code. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, net code does exist here in iRacing.
Yeah. Nothing that anyone did wrong there.
Nonetheless, the netcode is going to be the cause of the yellow flag. I mean, look, it's St. Patty's Day. We want to see the green flag.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Elias Flores.
Oh, I mean, man. 5 laps in, that's how your day starts. It's going to make for a long 200 laps. And
speaking of 5 laps in, Kyle Taub up 5 spots already in those 5 laps.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle is definitely making up some time there.
On the move.
He's definitely on the move. As we're going to get ready to get doubled up here and go back to Green Flag Racing here in a few laps. I mean, we're going to keep an eye on a few different drivers here tonight, as the first caution for cause tonight occurs here with the expensive Elias Flores. But the lights are going to be coming out this time by. And Colin, I think lane choice is so important at a racetrack like this, as well as track position.
Yeah, this is not an easy track to overtake on, but it is certainly an easy track to make a mistake that lets someone through on.
Exactly. In a field of 35, they got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. But meanwhile, they're going to get doubled up 2 by 2. Noah Zark style behind that iRacing.com pace car as we come working our way down that back straightaway. Want to thank Team Conti Sim Performance for sponsoring the HTL Cup Series. As they come out of turn number 4, Barney's got the green flag in hand through the Geico restart zone. John Hagen on the button, and we are back to green flag racing here at Richmond.
That was a great start.
Yeah, you know, and here's the thing: a lot of these guys were expecting this track to be slick, but maybe a few of these guys were caught off guard by how slick it actually is. As we got a couple drivers making contact there in the back.
Ooh, but John Hagen being challenged by I think that was Dustin Hall going down the inside.
Yeah, Dustin Hall's going to get that lead pretty easily. As there's a name that we're used to seeing up here in the front, Caitlin Height has had much success on the road courses also, but she's a pretty good oval racer.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't want to say that short tracks are the great equalizer.
Whoa.
No.
Caution number 2 is out. Let's see what happened to Gary Donaldson there. And a little bit too much of the special sauce, and around he goes. Oh, no, he collects the 21 car. That's Zach Apperson.
No.
Now, I believe that this will go single file this time by. Here's Zach Apperson, gets into the 4 car.
Ooh.
Makes slight contact, and I believe that's a part of that chain reaction. But a long day right now. As right now we got the 34th through 28th on pit road. Now Angel Santiago, want to touch on him just a minute. He has made up 9 spots from where he started in that 17 car.
Hey, hopefully Angel can keep that momentum up.
You know, and I said it last night, you know, with Jordan. You know, short track racing is all about, it's kind of like football, right? So, you're just making short gains all night. So you want to play the short game. You don't want to play long. So, you know, on the super speedways, Mountain Apps, you're playing long game, right? On short tracks, it's short game, all night long, and that's what's going to make this race. It's going to make or break the race for you.
Yeah, you know, short game as far as overtakes are concerned, but I think the long game perhaps on tire strategy, because these cautions are going to really make you rethink what's more important to you, track position or a fresh, cooler set of tires.
Absolutely, and you know, I will always say this, on short tracks it's all about track position, as the lights on the iRacing.com pace car are going to go out. John Hagen and Dustin Hall will take over the front row. You know, John Hagen has been on a tear here lately in this league, and you know, he's won a whole lot here. I can't even count the number of races he's won. But here in a couple laps, Colin, we're gonna go silent here in the booth. We're gonna step away here in just probably about a couple laps, and we're gonna pay tribute to Mike DeMoney's grandfather, who'd passed away on Saturday. So here at lap 16, the booth will go silent, and that's why. But we're back to green flag racing here at lap number 15.
Great getaway from Dustin Hall, but John Hagan's right there in tow.
Yeah, down the back straightaway. Now when the cars cross the finish line to get lap 16, the booth will go silent in honor of Mike DeMoney. As well, we're going to go caution, but we're going to go silent anyways. Lap 16, this is in honor of Mike DeMoney's grandfather, Herb. So we'll be right back with you. All right, and Angel Santiago was involved in that crash. Let's see what happened to Angel. And oh no, gets together with Alfredo Hidalgo. You know, Colin, that was the same piece of real estate.
That's the way things go sometimes.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate reality, especially at Richmond.
Yeah, I mean I mean, look, as I say on short tracks, a lot of bent sheet metal and hurt feelings, but that's going to take Angel and Alfred on the pit road. As I like to say, a lot of bent sheet metal and hurt feelings here tonight. And, you know, we're going to see Angel on track with these guys multiple times this year. So, you know, I'm happy that you and I are able to step into the booth and kind of help Angel out tonight. But nonetheless, here we are.
As far as big movers go this race, Josh Arnold up 11 spots, and Carmen Sienna up 10 spots. Both of them the only two drivers to move up in the double digits so far.
Yeah, and, you know, Colin, I am just quite certain that we are, and I do apologize right off the bat. I've learned to apologize a lot. If we butcher a name, we are sorry. We're only human. Nonetheless, Dustin Hall, John Hagan, Dustin Hall going to take that top spot. And we want to thank everybody for joining us here in the YouTube.com live chat. Colin, you know, a Monday night, and it's an absolute slobber knocker here on St. Patty's Day. And the only color we want to see right now before the pace car gets benched is the green flag.
Another good start from Justin Hall, and John Hagan's right there with him.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, Dustin Hall and John Hagan can't get away from each other.
I'm sure they would love to right now.
Caitlin Height there on the inside, and these cars are only going to get looser and tighter. You know, there's going to be a lot of comers and goers for sure.
Yeah, these cars are really tricky, especially at short tracks. I feel like my experience driving these cars, you got to pretend there's that eggshell under your right foot.
Oh yeah, you're 100% correct. It looks like Joshua Gaiman went off track, and a bunch of people went off track, but we stay green. Caitlin Height gonna get a little loose.
Oh,
that
was a great save.
Wow, that there might even be the save of the race. Meanwhile,
these cars are challenging to stay in a straight line after you lose it like that.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Dustin Hall and John Hagan are slugging it out. Here comes the rest of the field as we got a car back there in the back grabbing the wall.
Whoa, out of shape in 3. Oh, I'm not sure who that was. They kept it going in the right direction.
Yeah, as you had mentioned, though, a lot of eggshells. You got to drive that car like there's an eggshell underneath the throttle. We got another mover. It looks like Dean Clavitt there in that number 90 car. That's Kyle Taub in that 16 car. He is making some moves. He's up 5 spots.
Kyle Taub's been pretty steady race right there.
Angel Santiago is showing crash. Let's see what happened to Angel. Looks like he's gonna put it on the hauler and just that car is done.
And some battles further back in the midfield. Can't quite see who that is. You got a few cars 2x2.
Yeah, here we are with right around that Cali height area, that 16th position. That's a beautiful looking number 88 car.
Yeah, there are a lot of great paints tonight, Alan. I'm always blown away by the kinds of things that people come up with.
Yeah, you're on board with Callie Height in that number 88 car. And she's just a little bit, she's back there at 16, up 9 spots from where she started. As Angel Santiago has had his fun meter pegged out for the night. Only running 23 laps. We come back into the wide shot, 30 laps in of 200.
Looks like that's David Wright trying to make the move and gets through on Cali Height.
Yeah, David Wright definitely, went underneath there and strapped on the proverbial hairnet and served lunch to Cali Height. There's that number 78 car, Richard Odie. And Odie is one of those drivers that you just would love to see him put together a good night here. As I believe that Martin Truex Jr. was his favorite driver driving that number 78 car, which he drove that car to a Cup Series championship.
Now, Alan, I don't want to jinx it, but things have been moving in the right direction for a little while. The field's starting to get spread out a bit, and I'll bet this is one of those points in the race where you're starting to really notice the heat in the tires, and you're going to start to struggle a lot to overtake. And if you do make some moves to overtake, the slightest, missing your braking point by the slightest bit could leave you on the high side with the car behind you coming through on the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. 33 laps into a 200 lap race here, as Joshua Arnold going to grab a little bit of the wall. But nonetheless, Colin, as put yourself in the driver's seat. Is this a race where you just leave it in fourth gear and essentially use fifth as an overdrive or a push to pass type of gear?
It's hard to say. I think you're probably correct about that. I don't know if you'll need fifth in the draft. If you'll need fifth, because what you don't want to do is be in fourth gear, catch the draft, and then hit the limiter, and it just kind of you get stuck there the moment you touch the limiter.
Well, right now, just as we say that, Dustin Hall has essentially caught the back of the field. And the first car in his sights, as they're going to grab a little bit of the wall, would be the number 19 car of Lily Sharp.
Yeah, we'll probably see a lot of that as we encounter lap traffic. Is the lap car trying to stay as far to the top side as possible? It's really easy to let yourself wander up a little bit too far and drag the wall.
Yeah, and you're 100% correct. Is right now that car is trying to stay out of its own way. Now Gary Donaldson is back on the racetrack there in that 22 machine. So that would make Angel right now, if Angel were to drop out of the race, that would make Angel Santiago the Allen Experience race winner of the race to the beer stand.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And there's a caution.
Where that was.
So we're going to go to Elias Flores once again. I got a feeling his night went from bad to worse. They're in that number 99 car. And, oh no.
Ah.
Steven Oberstadt just gets into him and heads up driving by everybody else as they make the evasive move.
Yeah, that's too bad.
38 laps in.
There's a lot of cars coming down pit road right now for tires.
Well, while they go on pit road, we're going to go ahead and take a pit stop ourselves. We're going to go side by side. And you won't miss a thing here on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the HTL Cup Series as we are working caution laps here on lap 45. Colin McDonough and Alan Bergen with you in the booth, bring you all the action here from the green flag to the checkered flag right here in Sim Racing Media. And Colin, that last caution came out at lap 35. Here we are still working. That's just caution of the night. What an eventful race this has been so far. Now, Angel Santiago back on the racetrack after making what would seem like a plethora of repairs.
No, a lot has happened since we were away on break, and in the last caution, and everybody was making those wholesale pit stops, Josh Gaiman stayed out, so he finds himself up 27 spots, running in third. That was the thing that stuck out to me on the last run of pit stops.
Well, nonetheless, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here on lap number 46. It's been that way all night, but Dustin Hall and John Hagan will bring the field back to green through the Geico restart zone. Dustin Hall with the button, and we are green flag racing here on lap number 47. Please play nice.
Yeah. Easier said than done when you've got cars on fresh tires. Everybody's going to be fighting for position while the tires are still gripped up.
Well, while Joshua Gaiman didn't come down pit road, he's going to be eventually swallowed up by the field, as the field now has a chance to bunch itself back up, if you will. And we got two wide racing. Colin, there's a lot of action here. As I like to say, there's more action than the Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's watching from the blimp cam, it's hard to keep track of just what's happening. Oh, there's a car sideways in two. They keep it going in the right direction.
You want a blimp? I got a blimp for you. There's a blimp for you.
There's a lot of action throughout the whole track.
Absolutely, as Gary Donaldson has called it a night.
Oh, trouble in turn one.
Richard Odie spins out.
Oh, trouble at exit of turn
no.
two. Oh, two separate incidents.
Angel Santiago showing crashed on that one as well.
Looks like Josh Gaiman got
Angel.
Maybe a late tag from Angel Santiago on that.
He's all right. He only caught a piece of it. Let's see what happened
right there.
And this is from Richard Odie. And hang on to it. Oh, the 99 car and the 21 car just obliterates Richard Odie, and oh boy. Oh. Cali Heights showing crashed here. Let's see what happened there.
Yeah, there were a lot of cars involved in this one. There were two separate incidents.
And Joshua
it seems like Joshua Gaiman may have had a target on his door right there.
And that would be netcode.
Oh, I'm not sure if that was netcode or if that was just if that was Josh Gaiman getting a little bit loose and correcting, and then the car snapped.
Maybe it's a little bit of both.
Could be.
Nonetheless, here we are, high above the racetrack. Richard Odie coming down to get his services. John Hagan takes over the lead as, Alfred Denny, Joshua Gaiman, Cali Height, Zach Apperson, Josh Arnold in that 2 car. He'll come down pit road.
It looks like Dustin Hall took that opportunity to make a pit stop, so he's going to find himself down 18 spots, but on a fresh set of Dr. Feelgoods.
Angel Santiago taking the extended stay on pit road like it's a Holiday Inn. It says the night goes from bad to just about worse.
I've got one eye on the timing screen for Ross Baxter, up 14 spots in the 38 car.
The lights on the iRacing.com pace car are out. And Ross Baxter there in that 38 car up 14 spots. Dustin Hall went 19 spots in the wrong direction. But nonetheless, it's going to be Mark Kissenweather and John Hagen bringing the field back to green. Fubar Studio checking in, saying hello. Let us know who you're rooting for here tonight. And we'll get them on the screen here. Get those guys some screen time. So we go back to Green Flag Racing here on lap number 55. And John Hagen doing John Hagen things.
Yeah, John Hagen's no joke.
Look, even if he was a joke, he would be a good one because, well, he's just essentially taken off the rest of the field. But now we got some new players as we got Jeremy Brought, Mark Kissenweather, and Hunter Peach. They are in the top 4 now.
Yeah, it looks like Eli Saseks and Hunter going door to door, coming out of 2.
For a minute there, I thought Eli Sasak's car was an Amazon car.
Both of those cars have that nice blue on them.
Hey, who doesn't love
Jeremy
a blue car?
Braille goes purple, so up 5 spots and with a full head of steam.
Yeah, so, here we are, 11:57. I mentioned when the caution came out, we got some new players up here in the front. And that's why. That's one of them.
Seeing a lot of green times coming out here. Hunter Peach, Eli Sasek, Kyle Taub,
Whoa!
Chad Swatsworth. John Hagen responds, going purple, 22.62.
He tells Mark Kissenweather and Jeremy Broad, anything you can do, I can do better. And that includes setting fast time.
Alan, I have a sneaking suspicion. Oh, and Mark Kissenweather goes purple as well, 22.60. I think some of these drivers probably took tires and no fuel, trying to lighten up the car a bit.
Well, whatever they're doing, it's worked because Kissenweather has gone, purple. Jeremy Barot has gone purple already in this run.
Further back in the field, we've got some jockeying for position. I can't quite tell who that is.
It's a 99 car. It's got 99 problems and well connection issue, maybe one. But nonetheless, here comes Dustin Hall trying to go in the right direction as he's having a time trying to get by, Elias Flores.
Yeah, and Dustin really hasn't, he's still showing his, he's made up 1 spot since getting stuck back there in P20. So probably just stuck in traffic, and you'll probably, as the tires come in, you'll start to see him move through the field right now because he's got tires that are 13 laps fresher than everyone else.
Absolutely, as we got some more side-by-side action. That's David, the battle of the Davids. David Wright and David Spiel going at it with Dustin Hall right behind these guys. Blake Henderson, that number 25 car. He's looking to make some moves in the right direction. Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, the 13th position, that's Ross Baxter, who went 13 spots in the right direction so far.
Yeah, Ross has made some really good headway.
Again, that goes to that's that short game, short game.
Looks like he's been going back and forth with Austin Mongold.
Yeah, and so if you're back here and you're one of those drivers, that kind of isn't going to go anywhere. As opposed to these drivers that are trying to work through the field, it's a battle of. It's almost a game of cat and mouse. So if you can make. So, whoa! Alfred Denny into the wall. That Reese's number 21 machine, and that is that's a Chevrolet or Ford rather.
I think that's one of those instances of just trying to get out of the way for the lead lap cars. As Alfred Denny, I'm seeing, scored a lap down.
Yes, 2 laps down to be exact.
2 laps down.
2 laps down. Robert Showalter going to go on the pit road. And I've had a sneaky suspicion that he is done for tonight. Angel Santiago, we know, is on pit road. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, there's your race leader, John Hagan, doing John Hagan things with Mark Kisselweather right on his tail. Nothing doing there.
And it's just that top 10. The top 2 have about a second gap to Jeremy Braille, from what I can see. Combined, or sorry, Jeremy Braille has a second gap to Hunter Peets, and then that everybody else in the top 10 is really right there. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely is. It's unfortunate, but someone's got to win it. Angel Santiago, the Allen Experience winner of the race to the beer stand, only completing 34 of the 200 scheduled lots here. Almost halfway. This is probably the longest green flag run that we've had all night.
Trouble out of turn 2.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking about a green flag run because...
And that. They almost had it saved, Alan. They almost had it saved.
Well, here's David Wright. Here's just gets enough to the tires below the apron. And,
just tags the wall.
Oh boy, you just hate that for David Wright.
Yeah, David Wright was running really strong right there.
Well, here we are, 30 laps. My math is not about the math.
I've seen a lot of cars come down pit road, and I'll bet one of those cars is not Dustin Hall.
I bet one of those cars is Dustin Hall.
Alan, I wouldn't say that I'm a gambling man, but I would make a bet with you on this one. I think Dustin Hall wants to get back up to the front. He pit on lap 51, and I don't think he wanted to get stuck back there in traffic as long as he did.
Well, good thing I'm not a bet man, because according to live timing and scoring, you would have won that bet. And that'll put Dustin Hall 11th once we go back to green flag racing. Mind you, these 7 cautions and 74 laps of racing. This racetrack will bring a lot of good racing to will bring everybody a lot of good racing. But I mean, that's just inducive of how slick this track is. So we take a look at your weather one more time. With a 94-degree track temperature. Now, as Dave Regal said, that's the witching hour. It's just the sweet spot for this racetrack, as the humidity is starting to come down also.
Yeah, that track temp has dropped 8 degrees. So some of these drivers are really gonna feel a sense of relief on fresh tires.
Now it is 80 degrees ambient air temperature with a 66% relative humidity. We're out on the East Coast. We're not even in the Midwest. In the Midwest, that's 66% relative humidity. Well, that matters. And
certainly.
I tell you what, Colin, in the Midwest and Florida, I don't care where you are, in those humidity type states, 100% humidity will have you running back into your house.
Hey man, I'm from Jersey. I know it all too well.
As the iRacing.com pace car gets ready to bring that field to green flag, John Hagen, Mark Kitzenweather will have the control of the field. iRacing.com pace car dips on the pit road. And we are back to green flag racing here on lap number 75, almost to the century mark. John Hagen gets out to another awesome jump. 2x2 inside, outside. There you see the sun just beaming off these cars.
I'm so nervous to say anything at all because I don't want to jinx it, Alan.
You know what? Here's the thing. We've been jinxing it all night long. You know,
There's a lot of cars on fresh tires right now.
I mentioned something about going green flag runs, the long green flag runs, and we get a caution. I just don't even know anymore.
Well, I've got my fingers crossed that we won't curse them again.
I think it's inevitable.
Some of these drivers might appreciate it if we just shut up and didn't chance it on them.
Well, here we are working lap number 79, 38 laps in the history books.
Had a big moment out of turn 2.
Yeah, John Hagen out front doing John Hagen things.
Jeremy Brayo in tow. So he's up 5 spots. He's had a tremendous run.
Yeah, we're
just really consistent, clicking off fast laps and staying out of trouble.
21 laps from the century mark. That would be 21 laps from halfway. As we are now starting to catch. Whoa, we got.
Trouble in the front stretch.
Easy. That was Eli, who did some landscaping. Let's see what happened here. And that's going to bring out a caution. Eli Cisak goes left loose.
Oh.
81 cars there.
That's such a sinking feeling. To the car gets loose, you try to correct it, it snaps a bit, you slow down, and the car behind was right there.
Tough break for that 9 car. Not too much damage though. It was a slow hit almost.
Yeah, they definitely got away with that one, as far as damage is concerned. But you never want to bleed off spots.
Do it. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
You gotta give me a moment, Alan.
And by golly, smash that subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time the HTL Cup Series and Sim Racing Media goes on the air. I know we hit it. I mean, look, I even subscribed. But we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We have 4,200 now. So everybody out there in YouTube land can help us get there. And that's the easiest way to show Sim Racing Media some love. in the HTL Cup Series. As we bring you all the action here on lap number 84.
It looks like we had Josh Gaiman in the chat.
I got a fan.
He wasn't too happy about the outcome of that incident, but yeah, I gotta feel for Josh. He's my teammate in another league, so
Well,
tough break.
Snark Racing checking in, giving me the heart. Hey, it's not Valentine's Day, but I'll take it.
Is there a maybe they've got the clover emoticon? Not sure how you'd make that.
Nonetheless, as the iRacing.com pace car brings the field down that back straightaway, get ready to go back to green flag racing.
I think the one to watch right now might be Josh Arnold.
Right now, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We're on board with Patrick Oberstat and that Kroger number 60. And this is going to be the telltale sign whether or not these guys are shifting, as Patrick's going to leave it in fourth gear. It's almost like the, the set it and forget it oven. What is that? Set it and fourth. Oh, okay. Jeremy Brault shifting.
Ooh, things are getting interesting. Further back into turn one, we were 3 wide. Things are settling out now.
A lot of jockeying for position.
Yeah, the tire strategy now is a little bit interesting. You had some of those cars further back came down pit road, so they've got 10 lap newer tires than the cars just ahead of them. And then your top 5, top 8 almost, they pit on lap 38, so their tires are going to be pretty burnt up at this point. But with the track temp coming down, maybe it's not so bad.
Well, just as you said that, now we're 2-3 wide racing. Oh, here we are. Caitlin Height going 3 wide with Austin Mongold and Ross Baxter.
Wow, and everybody made it through clean.
They're still 3 wide. Austin Mongold making routes. He is 7 spots in the wrong direction. But Josh Arnold, what a story here. 25 spots in the right direction. He's running 9th.
Yeah, Josh Arnold has really had a great push to the front. And he's one of those cars that's that pit on lap 72. Kyle Taub is the highest running car that pit on lap 72. So everybody around them, their tires are not going to be nearly as fresh. So you're going to see a big pace differential coming into play over the next 5-10 laps.
Absolutely. We don't want to take anything away from John Hagan. But here he is, just doing John Hagan type things. And just all by his lonesome. Blake Henderson looking to make it 3 wide on the, I believe that's the 81 car. Or, yeah, it could be the 1 car too.
I believe it's Dustin
car.
Hall who's making moves back up through the field.
Yeah, at one point, Dustin Hall, he started on the outside of the front row. Now he's down 15 spots. He's trying to bounce back.
And you do it 1 lap at a time.
And who would have saw this on our bingo cards here tonight?
Ooh, as further up, it looks like Mark Kisenweather just got around Jeremy Braille for the P2, as John Hagan's checked out by a second.
That's the best thing that John Hagan can see in his rearview mirror, is Kisenweather and Brio going at it, duking it out.
Yeah, there's nothing a leader likes to see more than a battle for P2.
And right there is Joshua Susi And he's down one spot. He started third. He's back to fourth. And just as you mentioned, Kyle Taub and Hunter Peach battling out for the last top 5 spot.
Looks like Josh Arnold got around David Smeal, so he's up 26 spots right now. And Caitlin Height making moves back through the field. Got around Shad Swatsworth.
Yeah, there's Caitlin working that outside. They're under caution once again. Elias Flores.
I think Austin Mongold may have gotten involved.
Dustin Hall.
Oh, no.
As Elias's night goes from bad to just absolute worst.
Yeah, Elias is not going to be too happy about that one.
No, and, you know, as we're going to have wholesale pit stops once again. We're going to go.
I was getting suspicion Caitlin Height's about to go to the front of this thing.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to the front of these commercial breaks, and we'll be right back. We're going to go side by side. You won't be staying here live on Sim Racing Media. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia, as we are watching the HTL Cup Series brought to you by Henderson Graphics and Team Conti Sim Performance. I'm Alan Bergen, alongside me with my broadcast partner tonight, Colin McDonough. Colin, here we are, 109 laps in, a little bit over, 80 laps to go?
Yeah, I believe we've got 84 left. And the top three of John Hagan, Caitlin Height, and Mark Eisenweather have just checked out from the rest of the field.
Now, I will tell you this, Colin. As you know me, I love watching these races here. I have become a huge Caitlin Height fan ever since Daytona. And this is the reason why. She's always running up front. As we got some action back here in the back, as we are under a caution flag once again, Tucker Sawyer goes red here on the live timing. Let's see what happened there.
And Alan, right before that caution came out, there were some fast laps from John Hagan and Mark Eisenweather.
Oh no.
Oh, just the accordion effect.
That's that check if you see normally that you'd see on super speedways, if anything.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. I'm not sure if it's exclusive to Richmond, but that exit of turn 2, if you get a little bit loose, it's hard to overtake. Everybody wants to be right on the bumper of the car in front of them, and if that car in front of you gets a little bit loose, they slow down a bit. You have to check up, and if the car behind you is right on you, you're probably going to get tagged. It's really unfortunate, but it's just that's a racing deal.
Yeah, here tonight, unfortunately, Angel Santiago wins the race to the beer stand via running 34 laps. Carmen Sienna has had her fun meter pegged out for the night, and so is Joshua Gaiman. Someone's got to win the race to the beer stand. Why not Angel, right?
Yeah, I'm sure Angel had a relatively positive attitude winning the race to the beer stand.
I hope he legitimately went and got some beer though.
Oh, definitely.
Angel, if you're watching the broadcast, report back. Did you go to the beer stand in your house?
I'll bet he's drinking it from an SRM mug.
That's only coffee.
Is it only coffee?
I mean, one could hope it's only coffee. I think it's only coffee. I think it's only coffee. It might be. I don't know. It could be another.
Are those the rules on mug use? I've used mugs for just about anything.
Well, John Hagan would love to win the race to the checkered flag, and not so much the beer stand tonight, and that's what he's working on doing. It's been all John Hagan from the start, all day, all night. And 114 laps in, and 200 laps up there. We're on the back end of this one. John Hagan, Mark Kisselweather, Caitlin Height finds herself up there in the top 3 so far as the iRacing.com pace car bring the green field down the back straightaway with the lights out, and the lights are out all along the speedway. As the sun's starting to go down here from Richmond, Virginia, iRacing.com pace car pulls off of the racetrack, giving the field control to John Hagan and Mark Kisselweather. We are back to green flag racing here on Sim Racing View on lap 115.
And as we've seen before, John Hagan quickly out to a great restart, trying to create a gap. But Mark Kissenweather, he's really hanging there.
I mean, he's not going away easily. Hunter Peach now running third. Caitlin Height has fallen back to that 5th place starting spot where she's been. You know, Kaylin hasn't really dipped out of the top 10, you know, with the exception of pit stops here and there, but she's got that Hertz rental car, number 3. Running pretty solid in that 5th position, right where she started at. And hoping to finish 4 spots better. Well, we got trouble.
Trouble in 2.
And that
it's gonna block the whole back straightaway. This is a big one, Alan.
That's
a
gonna
lot of cars
be
involved.
Patrick Oberstadt. Let's see what he saw. Oh no. Ross Baxter and Alfred Hidalgo. Richard Odie, and I would say that was a parking lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the worst place on this track for something like that to happen.
You know,
the visibility isn't always great coming off a turn 2, and if you've got, if you have a car right in front of you that dips low and you're still coming in at a full head of steam because the flag hasn't been thrown yet, it's really easy to just pile into that.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're under caution for the 11th time here on lap 119. With 73 to go. 72, sorry. Look, Colin, we're doing St. Louis math sometimes, and sometimes St. Louis math just doesn't really math.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
If you get my drift.
Alan, what's our weather report like as the sun is setting?
Well, it's funny you should ask that, because here we go. The track temp has dropped once again. We are now at an 88-degree track temperature. Meanwhile, the humidity has gone up to 72%, so it's getting a little steamy out there in the stands. But it's a 79-degree evening time, as we are right around that 7:15-ish mark there in some time. So the sun's starting to go down. As Elton John would say, don't let the sun go down on me. I think you're just a little too young for Elton John, buddy. Sorry.
No. Alan, this is something that you may not know about me. I'm a huge... I don't want to say I'm a huge fan, but I'm quite fond of that guy. He's got some phenomenal music.
Well, right now, John Hagan's got some phenomenal pace. I mean, you could almost call him the phenomenal AJ Styles. But not really.
Alan, I'm going to pester you for a moment on this one. At this stage in the race, with 80 laps to go, who do you got?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to go on the inside of that third row right now. And I'm going to pick Kaylin Height. I'm telling you, she has turned me into a fan.
Yeah, I think that's looking at last pit laps and all that. I think that's a good call, Alan.
Well, nonetheless, here we go. Green flag racing. Green is out. John Hagan with the hole shot. And here comes the rest of the field, 2 by 2, doing it John Force style down the back straightaway. Caitlin Height has kept that car clean and mean all night, all race long. As now, Colin, here we are, 7:30 in sim time. Guess what's going to become a factor here?
A lot of things.
Whoa!
Oh!
We got
Kept it in the right direction. Oh my goodness.
That would be the 95 car of Tucker Sawyer. Look, Colin, I'm going to help you out. It's that big yellow thing in the sky.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be gone. I mean, we've already seen, that track temp has already dropped so much. Trouble in turn 1 and 2, and everything stays moving the right direction. We are still green flag.
Richard Odie had himself a moment there, and there it is. Anybody needs free landscaping, get a hold of Richard Odie.
You can see the smoke from the cars ahead. Yeah, there's a big moment in 1 and 2.
And everybody's
Oh,
starting to have those moments. And
Whoa!
we just had a car ricocheting off the wall there. I don't know who that was.
We stay green. We stay green.
That's all that's important right now.
I think you just had Austin Mongold in that Dr. Pepper machine a moment ago. That car is looking quite fine under this setting sun.
23 flavors, and not one of them is any good.
Come on now.
I used to be a massive Dr. Pepper drinker.
Oh, it looks like he's trying to get a move on Tucker Sawyer done.
You know, here, Colin, I was in my mind thinking that we're going to have 150 laps of just riding around, and then we'll actually go racing for the last 50 laps. But here we are, lap 128, and these guys are still racing like it's the last lap.
Everybody's been racing this race the entire time. It's, track position is really crucial here.
Well, the 81 car, Joshua Susi, is up to third, and that's right where he started from. So far, Joshua Arnold back there in that number 2 car, he has made up 26 spots in this race.
That's big moves from Joshua Arnold. And Steven Overstat as well. And he's on some older tires. He pit on lap 82, so he's on the same tire strategy as Caitlin Height. And the two of them are doing a phenomenal job to keep themselves in the top 10.
Absolutely working lap 130 of 200 here, 131 rather. And I think this is the point where we see things start to settle down. This guy's finally getting into a rhythm.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh, don't jinx me now. Like, I think these guys have a lot more fun running around here at 120, 130 miles an hour than they do at, 75.
I don't disagree with you, but there is an interesting tire differential on track right now. Kyle Taub pit on lap 72. Steven Oberstadt and Caitlin Height, they pit on lap 82. So there's 10 laps there. Then a lot of cars are on. Their pit stop was on lap 98, and you've got, I believe, only 2 cars. I think it was it's Seth Wansing and Zachary Apperson. They have pit on lap 111. So you've got a lot of differential in tires as far as wear is concerned. Oh no!
And we have
caution's
another
out.
caution. And I have the sinking suspicion that Ross Baxter was involved.
As I'm talking about tires, I think everybody's about to be on the same tires.
Oh no! There's the one.
Kept it going. Oh,
and the 42
no.
cars. That's where the 42 car just absolutely KOs him. What a rough night.
Ross Baxter did a great job to get that saved. Oh no.
Not too much damage though.
Yeah, just a bruised ego.
Maybe a
We're
bruised
seeing
tire.
all of these cars coming down pit road. Oh my goodness. Dustin Hall stays out.
Why?
Zachary Apperson stays out. Tucker Sawyer stays out. Blake Henderson stays out.
There's only one reason for that. It's not just track position. They might be getting close to the end of tires.
Yeah, you are not wrong there, Alan. And this is one of those tracks where, with the way cautions are, you really don't want to take your last set of tires until it's, maybe 20 to go. You want to make sure there's a set in the pits waiting for you, just in case there's a late race caution.
Zachary Aberson. We have not talked about Zach Aberson here a lot. I mean, I know you touched on it a little bit. 21 spots to the good here. Got to be lining up second when we go back to green flag racing. Under the 12th caution of the night here, lap 137. Want to thank everybody for... Sorry.
No, go ahead. Thank yous are important, Alan.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks to everybody here in the YouTube Deck on Live chat for chiming in. I want to thank Team Conti Sim Performance and Henderson Graphics for all that they do for this league and all the support. Michael Conti over there at Team Conti, he, an iRacer himself, goes back to the iRacing community with his setup shopping. He's definitely one of those guys that, will help other drivers along the way.
Now, Alan, it's going to seem like I'm beating a dead horse.
Well, don't beat it too hard.
Josh Arnold is 22 spots up and just got fresh tires.
Okay. I can get behind
He's a
that.
big mover, Alan. But I'm really curious about the top 5 on this restart.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Well, here we are. Dustin Hall, Zach Aberson going back to green flag racing here on lap 138. Dustin Hall is going to get the whole shot. And here comes John Hagan, making it 3 wide. For a moment, he's going to get that second position. We got trouble.
Oh, trouble.
Overset, Hunter Peach involved. As the car is barely making it up through the gearbox.
And that's exactly what I was worried about. With so many people on fresh tires, but the top 4 being on pretty used stuff.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. As Hunter Peach's night went from bad to worse. You don't want to make the highlight reel with 61 laps to go. Well, 60 to go now. You definitely do not want to make the highlight reel. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and someone we haven't touched on too much, Dale Markowski is up 13 spots. He's had a heck of a drive.
Well, I imagine this caution is going to be a little bit quicker, as a lot of drivers haven't come down. But as we say that,
it's like P19 to P24 all pit on this caution. Got Ross Baxter, David Wright, Hunter Peach, Steven Oberstadt, Callie Height, Richard Odie.
well, here we are working lap number 142 of 200 laps. Less than 60 to go. Actually, we're working with like 58 to go. Dustin Hall will be the leader when we go back to green flag racing. Let's take a look at that weather one more time. It is now 7:38, almost 8 o'clock, and that track temperature is now 86 degrees. Now, the number that I'm looking forward to right here is at 74 degree, there's a 74% relative humidity. in that 78-degree ambient temperature. You could almost say it's a, as I call it, Chamber of Commerce type of day. As the sun starts to go down and we go back to green flag racing, the biggest obstacle now will be the sunlight. As we're going to go on board and you're going to see that perspective that these drivers are seeing. And we're going to go on board with Caitlin Height there in that Hertz rental car on board. As she gets ready to come up through the gearbox. And we're back to green flag racing here on lap 144. As you can see, the sun not too bad right there. But it's when you come... Oh, he saved it right there.
Oh, nope, there's trouble further back. Oh, man.
And again, we barely make it to fourth gear before Patrick Overstat and Dale Markowski, well, you know. And there it is. Oh, no. Does anybody know the number to a good chiropractor?
Yeah, I think Dale's going to be feeling that one.
Alfred Denny calling it a night here, putting his car on the hauler, making it a, well, you know, he's had his sun meter pegged out. Angel Santiago, though, will win the race of the beer stand.
And Alan, don't look now. Josh Arnold up 26 spots.
You know, he's one of those drivers that are just flying under the radar, staying out of trouble, absolutely trying to be there at the end. As we are under caution again.
If it weren't for our live timing showing, you know, the biggest movers, he's not someone that I really noticed, you know, fighting over real estate. He's just really been keeping things clean.
Absolutely, as we are working lap 147 of 200 here. Dustin Hall continues to lead this one. Dustin Hall started on the outside of that front row, while John Hagan started on the pole. John Hagan doing John Hagan type things, and we knew it's almost like this came back full circle as we got about 53 to go.
Yeah, the big difference between what's going on at the front row now versus what happened at the beginning of this race is about a 40-lap difference in tires. Dustin Hall's at a pretty significant disadvantage.
Well, let's hope we can keep it green for the last 52 laps here. Because if we could, it would make for some pretty exciting racing as we get ready to come back to green flag. Once again, I wanted to show this.
Whoa! Trouble under caution further back in the field. Not sure what went on there. Big puff of smoke and a car sideways.
I believe that was an engine failure. And we are going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. We're going on board with Caitlin Height here as she gets ready to come up to the gearbox. Actually, we're going to go on board with Josh Arnold out of Maggie, Mississippi. Green flag is out. We are off and racing here on lap 149 with 52 to go. And just as you come out of turn 2, ooh, Dustin Hall gets the wall.
Dustin Hall gets put in the wall.
Oh, man.
Oh, and they're wrecking further back. Man,
just as soon as they come up to the gearbox.
Hit.
Dustin Hall here catches the wall. Here we are. And I don't think John Hagan can get slowed up in time.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know that. I don't think John Hagan meant to do that, but I don't think Dustin Hall is going to be sending him a Christmas card.
I would believe that you're right. John Hagan on pit road, but here we go. Let's go ahead and go on board with John Hagan, and you'll see what he saw. Here we are coming back to green. And oh, man, it's almost like John just got it just a little too hot.
Yeah, and that's part of that problem with the tire difference is just that that John Hagan had much fresher tires and can drive into that corner deeper.
Well, here we are working lap 152. We have now 48 laps to go here in this one. This is where my math starts to math, Colin.
Alan, anytime your math is successful, I'm always proud of you.
Hey, I should get a gold star for that one. Want to thank everybody for joining us here in the YouTube.com live chat. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and smash those bells. So that way, unlike Colin, you'll be notified every time Sim Racing Media comes on the air. Also want to thank Team Conti Sim Performance and Henderson Graphics for all they do for the league. And, Blake Henderson is the owner of not only the league, but Henderson Graphics. But you didn't know that, did you? These guys are lined
Alan,
up.
you are full of fun facts.
Look, I tell you one thing I'm full of, and that's not baloney, but Blake Henderson, Mark Kisselweather are lined up with the rest of the field, 2x2 Noah's Ark style behind the iRacing.com base car. For as much as we all pay for the service, it triggered us to get us a different base car.
One of these days, Alan, one of these days it'll happen.
Just not today. But right now,
Not
Blake
today.
Henderson, Mark Kisselweather, we go back to green flag racing here on lap 154. About, 47 laps left here in the books. As Blake Henderson's going to get out to the early lead. Zachary Aberson going to follow behind him. And turn 2 is Calamity Corner once again, as these guys are definitely battling the sunlight.
Keeping an eye on Josh Arnold, Kalen High. Oh, and a big moment.
That was Josh Susi. Saves it, keeps it going and pointing in the right direction. We're going to stay bean and green. 45 laps to go. And the tire lockup is now real. As we have now 44 laps left in the books here. 45 laps in the books. Sorry, excuse my math. Caitlin Height underneath the 4 car, and that is Zach Aberson. She's going to get that third spot away. And she's going to work. 2-for-1 special for Caitlin. Give Caitlin a 2-for-1 special.
As Caitlin Height went purple on that lap, a 22.47.
Well, she's got second, looking for more. Here she comes. Look out, Mark is running away like she doesn't learn. Oh, man, just Dustin Hall. His night just went from bad to worse. Let's see what happened. As left loose, left. Oh, nose. Yay.
Whoa! What happened further up there, Alan?
I'm not for sure.
Wow, that was I'm not sure which of those brought out the caution.
Well, Joshua Arnold comes down pit road now. Or scratch it. Shad Swatsworth, Kyle Tubb, Joshua Susi, Overstat, High Markowski, Hall is on pit road, and I believe his night is now over. So Dustin Hall has had his fun meter pegged.
Yeah, I don't know if the fun meter got pegged or if the
I think
the engine just checked out.
well, the engine went yeet and then left the chat. How about that?
That's a tough break for Dustin Hall.
You hate to see it. Nonetheless, 41 laps to go. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take one more commercial break. We're going to step side. We'll be side by side. You'll be saying we're going to bring you the rest of this race commercial free after we come back. We'll be right back here on Some Racing Media. Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia. Well, we left you under caution, and now we returned you under caution for the 17th time here tonight. As this time it looks like it was Dean Clavitt. Let's see what happened to Clavitt. As go on board. Left, right, and ouch.
Now, Alan, looks like somebody was around on the top side right when Dean was on the bottom.
Absolutely. And let's see what happened. Maybe Robert Scholl. Come on. As we're going to go ahead and break the fourth wall. And let's go ahead and do the chopper. Here we go. Get to the chopper.
Ooh.
Showalter goes left, right. And, oh boy.
Kept it go. Oh, no.
Not the way you want to end your evening here.
No. Oh, it only got worse.
Well, here we are, Colin. This seems, look, on a day where green is the primary color, everybody should be excited for. Barney the Flagman has definitely earned his money here tonight, waving that yellow flag.
I don't think they pay him enough.
I don't. I mean, besides him and Brett Bodine driving the pace car, I don't think pace car may have the most laps led here today.
Alan, you could be right. with the way the lead has changed throughout the course of this race, you might be right.
I mean, look, the only two constants right now is Mark Kissweather out front and the pace car.
But Alan, on the outside of row 1, Caitlin Height.
Barney's gonna need rotator cuff surgery after the fourth. Maybe physical therapy. Look, iRacing doesn't pay workman's comp. Okay. Back to green flag racing. Mark Kissweather continues to lead this one. But here it is. Caitlin Height running second. And Seth Wansing out of Peculiar, Missouri. He's working inside of Caitlin Height. I have not known a flagman to need Tommy John surgery.
Tommy Johns? Oh my gosh.
Want to thank everybody for joining us here at the YouTube.com live chat. Also want to thank Blake Henderson Graphics and Team Conti Sim Performance as well. Guess what? 25 laps to go. And you'll never guess what's out right now.
Man, there was a great battle going on between Seth Wansing and Caitlin Height.
Let's see what happened. Oh no. Tucker Sawyer and Robert Showalter.
Oh!
Oh boy. $24 to go, and yeah, we're at 47 miles an hour. we might end up interviewing the pace car driver after this one.
Man,
Maybe Angel's
Alan,
driving a pace car.
don't joke about things that would be awesome.
Could you imagine interviewing a pace car driver?
I'd love that.
I mean, Dale Jr. drove a pace car. They interviewed him. Look, so I gotta know something. Is driving the pace car kind of like throwing out the ceremonial first pitch at a baseball game?
Maybe on an oval, yes. But I'm sure that on a road course, it's way more stressful.
Well, I asked that because I'm thinking back to Daytona when Donald Trump made his appearance there. And I'm like, man, how cool would it have been for the Trump to drive the pace car?
But Alan, does he drive or does he have drivers?
I think he can drive. He can't drive on a public street, but he's on a racetrack.
I'm not saying that he can't drive. I just suspect he might not drive.
All I'm saying is put the presidential caravan in front of him, let him pace the field. Nonetheless, right now, Marcus Kitzelweather, Seth Wansing on your front row, Caitlin Height on your second row. As we get ready to go back to green with 22 laps to go. Let's see if they make it through the gearbox this time. Because at this rate, they don't need to pit anymore. As the lights are starting to come on the racetrack, the lights are off on the pace car, and we are going back to green flag racing here with 22 laps to go, and Mark Kitzelweather gets the whole shot.
Alan, I'm suspicious. These cars are probably getting pretty tight at this point in the race with the track cooling off so much. Oh, it's a parking lot in turn 2.
And I bet you it has everything to do with overstat. There. Let's see where this is at. Here we go.
Oh.
Overstat gets to the 8 car, and the rest is, as they would say, history.
Wait, was that an overstat on overstat crime?
It might have been.
Wait, was that the 60 and the 8?
It might have been.
Oh my goodness!
I would not want to be.
There's a family feud happening right now.
I'm not Steve Harvey. I'm not in control of that one. Got to be a huge penalty for all those early lane changes. I mean, to be fair, they were off in turn number 1. 19 to go.
Is that in the YouTube live chat?
Brother on brother crime. Yes, absolutely. My brother lives 15 minutes away from me, so.
It's funny they should mention the penalties on lane changes, because I did notice that. I think the rule is that you cannot switch lanes before start-finish line on a restart.
Well, right now we got 18 laps to go. Caitlin Height is leading Seth Wansing and Kyle Brielle, or Jeremy Brielle. Sorry for anybody named Kyle or Jeremy. I probably just offended Kyle.
And Alan, an update for you. Mark Hisenweather was given an EOL. So he was given a penalty, and most likely for the lane change before start-finish line.
I knew that start looked really, really well. But nonetheless, the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car. We're going back to green flag racing here on lap number 17, or with 17 laps to go. Wow. As the sun has sank above or behind the grandstands already.
Track temp down to 82 degrees. We're down 30 degrees on track temp since the start of this race.
And here we are.
Alan, Barney's getting a workout again as we hit the Geico restart zone, and Caitlin Height takes us off to the start-finish line and into turn 1 with a great jump.
I like that jump by Caitlin Height, and here we are. She's got the whole shot there, coming into turn number 1. But here comes Brielle there in that number 74 car, and Seth Wansing running a close third. But here comes your boy Joshua Arlen. We got trouble.
Someone slid up high.
Please stay green.
We've stayed green. Oh, they're wrecking on the front stretch.
And there it is.
Oh, no, Caitlin Height's in the wall under caution.
It's all right. She just kissed it.
Oh.
The 20th caution for the day. Colin, I'm going to send you on a mission.
Ooh, I like missions.
I need to know the most cautions in a real-life NASCAR race at Richmond.
Oh, let me check the history books for you. Now, the big question for you, Alan, Cup Series or any series?
Any. I believe any car raced here at one time. Lily Sharp going for the slide for life. $13 to go. Caitlin Height is your winner, or not your winner, but your race leader. Jeremy Burrell is your second place running car, while Seth Watson out of Peculiar, Missouri, continues to run top 3. So we were going to have 12 laps to go this time by.
So, Alan, since 2002, I'm seeing the most cautions in a single race at 15.
Well, we passed that by 5.
So I'm gonna do some more digging. I'm gonna do some more digging and see if we can find. We'll see.
Don't dig down too deep. You might find some skeletons. As we should be going back to green this time by. What do you got for Colin?
Looks like 16 total cautions. September 10th, 2016. Not sure which race that was. Race with the fewest cautions had 0, which occurred March 7th, 1976. That's
a long time ago,
Alan. Long time ago.
We're going to come back to green flag racing with 10 laps to go here. And if you're Caitlin Height or Jeremy Burrell, you're kind of wanting this thing to go green the rest of the way. The lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car. Ford Mustang driven by none other than our very own Angel Santiago. Look, he exits the race, wins the race to the beer stand, and then they let him drive the pace car. Nonetheless, here we go. Green flag is out to the Geico restart zone. Now the green flag is out. We have 10 laps to go. Caitlin Height with the jump, with the hole shot rather. I learned hooked on tonics.
Ooh, they were almost 3 wide further back.
Seth Wansing out of Peculiar, Missouri, in that second position right now. But here comes Jeremy Burrell. We got 9 laps to go. We have made it a full lap. And
Oh, no.
I spoke too soon. David Wright is the culprit here. And David Wright gets into... Well,
Whoa.
nobody.
Whoa! Gets into the grass. Well, hat off to David Wright for
Now they're
putting that
obliterating
back
the
down
field.
the racetrack into the infield.
Caitlin Knight currently runs first. South wanting up 10 spots. That driver there, of course, isn't that Deuce? Josh Arnold up 30 spots. He's currently 1 spot out of the podium. He's got 8 laps to do it. Under the 21st caution of the night. And it's official. The pace car finally has more laps led than the Caitlin Knight.
Oh, no.
I mean, look, if you're Barty, the flag man, you got to be getting tired.
Oh, no doubt about it. But Alan, these cars are really tricky. You come here and say a late model stock. It's not quite so challenging to manage throttle application.
I'm not coming here in anything as I know my limits and I'm straight garbage when it comes to Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, I love this track.
Look, it is a dumpster fire as we got 6 laps to go. For me, I am a dumpster fire on this racetrack. But I will tell you this right now, Colin. If tonight's race was sponsored by color, it'd be yellow. Sponsored by the color Y if we were a Sesame Street episode.
Now, Alan, take a peek at the top 5 and let me know who you see in there. Which one of these is not like the others?
Oh, well, Josh Arnold is up there, 30 spots to the good. Now the original, so hear me out. The original pole sitter and outside front row are no longer in the race.
Oh, have we? No.
John Hagan's running 6th.
John Hagan, John Hagan's still running.
Now, mind you, Dustin Hall is out. He's done. See, iRacing.com pace car brings the field down the back straightaway. We're gonna have 5 laps to go. I got tons of faith that we can make it 5 laps.
Alan, I'm gonna be not that I'm a gambling man, but there's gonna be a green white checkered.
I hope not. As we are green flag racing, Caitlin Height going to get out to the early jump. Here comes Jeremy Brio with, he's second position. Here comes Seth Wansing on the outside, trying to pull the power move.
Oh,
4 to go, and
trouble in the back, and a car in the wall, 2 cars in the wall.
you just had to
sliding
call
up
it,
the racetrack. Oh, it's a mess in turn 3 right now, Alan.
Let's see what happens. And
Austin Mongold tags the wall and just
makes a dead left.
yeah.
Hey, you say it's undefeated.
Man,
Jinx. Jinx is not the word for it. But nonetheless,
I said there'd be a green-white checkered in hopes that it would be the reverse of the curse. That I'd say there'd be a green-white checkered and we'd go green to the end.
well, explain to all our viewers how this is going to work, please.
Well, we have 3 green, white, checkered attempts. We may need some of them. And everybody will get the green flag on the restart. You'll have to make 1 complete lap without the yellow coming out and see the white flag. And then once the white flag drops, we're racing back to the checkered flag.
And what happens if we don't make it to the white flag?
Then we do it again. And it'll be great.
Aurora staying 1 caution away from the HTL record. Look, we only got 3 laps to go. I don't think we're going to make it that far.
I have a sneaking suspicion that everyone's good on fuel, unless... I can't imagine that anybody doesn't have enough fuel.
3 laps to go here, and, here we are, getting lined up for a green, white, checkered. We're going to do the first one as a natural one. What is a dry heat? Anyways. Come out of nowhere.
What a line.
I'm full of randomness. But it's really not a dry heat. We are at 74 degrees with an 81 degree track temperature and a 74 degree day. Or night.
Yeah, that air is thick right now at 88% humidity.
It'll slap you in the face.
Yeah, that might it would hurt if you ran into it too fast.
Well, it would hurt if we went green the rest of the way, but nonetheless, here we are. Caitlin Height, Jeremy Burio, and Seth Wansing out of Peculiar, Missouri. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Josh Arnold looking to capitalize and go up 34 spots. Here we are. Green flag is out. We're racing as the iRacing.com pace car comes through the Geico restart. No, we're racing 3 laps to go. 2 laps to go, rather. Here we go. We got trouble. Josh Arnold gets sideways.
Slide.
Save it. Please stay green. Please stay green. We are going to go caution. Maybe. We're going to stay green? What? Popsicle sticks go down. The white flag comes out. We're racing back to checkers. Caitlin Height's going to make it 1 more lap. Here comes Seth Wansing. Does he have anything? He's going to turn Caitlin. Caitlin gets sideways.
And it's going to be a parking lot, and everybody's racing back to the checkered flag.
Look at Chad Swansworth in that 18 car.
I don't believe it.
He's going to win. Overstadt's going to cross the line 3rd. Spinning out, Kyle Taub will finish 2nd. Oh, boy.
Alan, I'm in disbelief. I don't know what to say. What?
Have you ever?
No, I've never.
Caitlin Height.
Josh Arnold, and he ends up picking up an extra 8 spots off of what he lost.
Oh no!
Man.
Caitlin Height not happy with Seth Wansing after the caution, or after the checkered. And oh my gosh, just destroys the car. Nonetheless, Chad Swansworth's gonna burn it down as we await our top 3 to get into the waiting room.
And Alan, Steven Oberstadt is your 3rd place finisher.
I mean,
with the trouble he got in with his brother earlier, what a drive.
So we're gonna go ahead and bring up the top 3 finishers. These guys into the broadcast booth. And Colin, I'm going to let you talk to our race winner.
Hello, Shad Swatsworth. It is Colin and Alan in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Shad, that was quite an eventful race and a really exciting final lap. Could you take us through that and tell us what your experience was in all of that?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I did not have the car to win this race. Richmond's not a track that I'm very good at. Just kept it kind of floating around the top 10 all night. And I figured there was going to be a wreck. And yeah, going turn one, I seen the smoke, seen the car sideways, just picked a lane and somehow made it through it and came out in first place and pretty much stole this one.
Well, congratulations. Nicely done. And is there anybody you want to thank for getting you here tonight, making it happen?
Yeah, I mean, Militia Racing Club, me and the boys, have a great time, that's for sure. Gotta say thanks to NJB Designs for the paint scheme. They made the whole team scheme, so thanks to them. And thanks to y'all up in the broadcast booth, every week, giving us something to be able to watch on Tuesdays and the rest of the week. And yeah, thanks to Blake still keeping this league going. And yeah, just really happy to get a win. It's been a while, and definitely stole one tonight.
Well, hey, however you got it, congratulations on getting it.
I appreciate it.
And that was the word of Chad Swatsworth. As we will bring up P2, Kyle Taub. Kyle, you finished second on the, and you got that P2 finish. Take us through that last lap and what more you could needed to maybe get by Chad Swatsworth.
Well, I mean, after that wreck happened, there was nothing I would have been able to do to get by him. That last lap was it was chaos. I ended up getting stuck on the outside. They're taking the white just for the way checkups and stuff happened, and I had no choice but to ride it there. Thankfully, I wasn't spun or anything, getting into that little scuffle. Maybe just some fender damage, but I was able to get through it and somehow came out of there running P3, and then I guess P2 was just gifted to me out of 4.
Yeah, absolutely. But, as we come through the rest of the season, what's your mindset as we head on to the next track and get out of Richmond?
Well, as much as I don't like Richmond, I tend to do pretty good here recently. But mindset for this season has just been points. I'm not really looking to go out there balls to the wall for a win, but I think points and consistency will be the key.
Look, man, before we get you out of here, anybody that you'd like to think to help you get it done there on the number 16 car?
Yeah, shout out to the Militia Racing Club, Josh for letting me drive for his team this season. And shout out to myself. I run a design company called Tubbs Graphics. You can hit me up on Twitter at BeastFTXE or X. I design cars for iRacing. Pretty much anything with wheels on it, I can do it.
All right. Well, congratulations on the P2 finish, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, Colin, you'll have Steven Oberstadt in the booth with you.
Steven Oberstadt's Colin and Allen in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I sure do.
Steven, heck of a race. Could you take us through that final lap and how you managed to pull off a P3?
Honestly, I have no idea. That was, I think that's got to be the worst race I think I've ever taken part of. And I take a lot of joy in running short tracks, but I just don't know if we have the collective ability for that in here based on what we continually see. So I think it was all luck. I deserved a pretty good finish because I felt like I was running well, and I just circumstantially was getting beat around a little bit. But I mean, I can't really take any thing from a race like that. It was just terrible.
Well, I noticed earlier on you had a little incident with your brother. Is there going to be any feud going on with him for the rest of the season?
No. He, the last person he wants to hit on track is me, because I'll hit him back. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, no, he's typically in front of me, so it's the rare occasion where he was actually behind me. So I don't really know what happened there. I don't know if he just took it in too deep or whatever, but I mean, just stack it on the pile, right?
Well, congratulations on a P3. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to or thank for getting you here tonight?
Whoever's up there throwing in the flag stand, I mean, their right arm's got to be going in for Tommy John after that race. So shout out to that person, because that was just awful. That was just. I hate to say that we don't need to go to any short tracks, because that's really all I want to race is short tracks. But I don't think we can. I don't think we can do it.
Well,
But hey, shout out to you guys in the booth for having to put up with that stuff. Almost slipped there. But yeah, shout out to everyone in the booth for hanging with us every week. And let's we'll go on down to the next race and see what other craziness we can cook up. But yeah,
thanks for coming out.
And, that wasn't very fun.
And putting on a show.
It was something. So well, hopefully we'll do this again sometime.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on P3. See you next time.
Thanks.
And that was the voice of Steven Oberstadt. I love it when they do that. But nonetheless, before we get out of here, Colin, let's go over the final results. There we go. Here's how it's going to shake out here in Richmond, Virginia. Chad Swatsworth, after a crazy ending to this race, is going to take that P1 and park it in victory lane. Kyle Tubb is going to park it in P2. Steven Oberstadt finishes third, while Tucker Sawyer will finish fourth. Kelly Height will finish with a top 5 finish, while Dale Markowski will finish sixth. Rounding out seventh will be Dean Clavitt. Austin Mongold will finish 8th. Dustin Wright will finish 9th, while Joshua Saucy will round out your top 10. Zachary Epperson will finish 11th. Josh Arnold, who had a strong run early, he was up 30 spots at one point, will finish in that 12th position. Matthew Boone will round out your top 13. 14th to go to Blake Henderson. Jeremy Burrell will go to 16th, while Seth Wansing will finish 16th. Caitlin Height will finish 17th. David Schmiel Jr. will round out your top 18. Moving a little bit deeper in the field here. Finishing 19th will be Mark Kissenweather. John Hagan will finish 20th. Ross Baxter will finish 24th. Elias Flores will finish 22nd. While Lily Sharp will finish 23rd. Patrick Overstat will finish 24th. Richard Odie will finish 25th. 26th to go to Gary Donaldson, while Alfredo Hidalgo III will finish 27th. 28th will go to Robert Showalter. And rounding out your top 30 starters, or 29, will be Dustin Hall. Hunter Peach will finish 30th. Alfred Denny will finish 31st, while having his fun meter pegged out for the night. Eli Sasak will finish 32nd. Joshua Gaiman, 34th. Carmen Sienna will finish 34th. And winning the race to the beer stand, 169 laps down, will be our very own Angel Santiago. Colin, it's been a long time, and I thought I'd never get to ask you this question. Any final thoughts as we get out of Richmond?
No final thoughts. That was, for those that survived, excellent job, well done. And for those that didn't have such good luck, there's next week. Come on back out.
Well, as the late great Tony Trapasso would always say, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.